Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user SupluXmas or GTFO. We, husband 32 male and me 26 female, have been told by his brother 37 male and sister-in-law 30s that we should supply all Christmas gifts for the kids due to our lack of kids. My husband has a very large family. In total, I think his father has 8 brothers and sisters. They all got married and had 2 children each. Now all their children are grown up and starting families as well. We are looking at easily, I believe, 15 children in the family as of right now. We all get together for Christmas every year at his grandparents' house. Sounds great, right? Right. Normally, after Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving, which they also get together for, we pick names for the children's gift swap. There is also a men and women gift swap, which my husband and I, who do not have children, join in on. Now, to give you an idea of how the gifting has been the last 10 years, husband and I would buy gifts for his parents, his brother and wife, and their 4 kids. Great. Awesome. Works fine. Last year, they said they would rather we just buy gifts for the kids, so we did. Same thing we'd always gotten them. Books at the reading level, PJs, and puzzles of some kind. They were upset, but we couldn't place why. We also didn't get any gifts at all, which we didn't comment on, but my husband admitted he was a bit hurt to get nothing from his parents versus his brother and sister-in-law getting gifts. I'm not a super social person, so I spent most of Thanksgiving reading a book and watching one of the youngest cousins sleep. Eventually, we all gathered up so the kids could draw the names of their cousins for the gift swap. They finished that up, and then my husband's brother, who we'll just call Timmy, says, "And Uncle Husband will buy all the kids a gift too." Cue my husband and I giving him looks of "the F" and "F you." We laughed and said, "Oh no, haha, we'll just bring the candy again this year." His brother then started in that we should buy all of the children gifts since we have none, and that it wasn't very Christian of us to not bless the children with our good fortune. My husband at this point pulled him aside into the kitchen and told him he didn't buy all of the cousin gifts, and if he wanted to, he was welcome to. They started to argue, and Timmy yelled that we shouldn't come to Christmas anymore. I handed over the baby, we left, and said we'd email them about it later when they calmed down enough to talk like adults. I'd just like someone else's viewpoint. My husband is really upset, and his parents are agreeing with Timmy that we should be given more gifts since we have no one to buy them for now. My husband threw the fact that we get no gifts from anyone at them, and they said that we are adults now and Christmas is for kids. He pointed out they gifted Timmy and his wife things still, but they said that we'd already bought it, might as well. But I've been shopping with his mother and she bought gifts for Timmy's wife, we'll call her Candy, again this year already. I'm frustrated and feel like no one is handling any of this well, and I want to step in and help my husband, but I want someone else to look at this mess before I do anything other than listen and offer suggestions of using "I feel blank when you blank" to his parents. Oh man, this is so infuriating. I personally really dislike it when other people feel entitled to your money or your things for that matter. OP, in my opinion, Christmas is a time that you should spend with family, but not that family. If I was you and your husband, I would take all the money that I was planning on spending in Christmas and pay for a trip for the 2 of you to go somewhere nice and send pictures. Who do they think they are? I mean Timmy, for putting your husband on the spot like that. Oh, he's gonna buy gifts for everybody. Get bent. And your parents-in-law sound like a couple of tools for defending their inconsistent actions for being called out as hypocrites, which they are. Big ones. So OP, if it was me, I'd probably send them a bag of sand so they can pound on it and go on holiday. What about you guys? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Shelby Knits says, "So you're supposed to buy gifts for 15 kids since you don't have any, and you get kicked out of Christmas if you don't? Sounds like it's time to start a new tradition that doesn't involve insane relatives. Maybe a cruise. Cruises are nice." El Chapulín Colorado says, "They sell kazoos in bulk on Amazon for under $6. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Don't forget to encourage the kids to play them as often as possible to develop their musical skills. After all, music helps kids with math or whatever." Ah, no contaban con su astucia. Glitter and Pearls 25 says, "Okay, to get this straight, Your in-laws got your brother-in-law and sister-in-law gifts last year, but not you and your husband? That's incredibly rude. It's also incredibly rude for your brother-in-law mentioning something about the two of you buying gifts for 15 kids in front of them. He was basically attempting to manipulate the two of you into buying the kids gifts because he figured you wouldn't say no in front of the children. If your history has been consistently only buy gifts for your in-laws and brother-in-law and sister-in-law and their kids, there is no reason to expect that you would buy gifts for the other 11 kids. You and your husband need to discuss the issue with your brother-in-law because it's a stupid reason to be uninvited to Christmas. Just mention that you are going to do what you've been doing for the last several years and only buying presents for the smaller group within the family. I would not give in when it comes to this issue because it will show brother-in-law that he can continue to use the family's children to get you and your husband to do things that you didn't necessarily want to do. And in reference to the Christian thing to do, the Christian thing to do is not even to exchange gifts, since that's not necessarily the point of Christmas in all honesty. The point of the gift exchange is to make sure that none of the families have an unnecessary burden placed on them by having to buy gifts for every person or child in the family. I hope this all works out, because it seems like a petty thing for your brother-in-law to get so upset about and try to uninvite you from Christmas. Additional information from OP's comments. They have called a few times. We missed the first one since we were out at a show and got a nasty voicemail about starting drama, which he again started off with talking to us like children and then yelling at my husband's voicemail. We decided we wouldn't call them back and send them an email. I am hoping that this email we're sending will root out what's really going on. Here's the email. Hi Timmy, Candy, and family. After what happened at Thanksgiving, we can't help but feel something else is going on. Why do you want us to buy all these extra gifts? Why are you upset with us? We want to work this out since we love our family very much. Love, husband and OP. I had my husband read the thread and he got misty-eyed and said he was tired of this BS since the family's favoritism towards his brother's family has been a long-standing thing, even before they got married and had children. It's not the first and won't be the last time they take their side. They play favorites and always have, and Timmy is the favorite. He can do no wrong. I do feel bad. Some of the kids looked sad when we said no, but they cheered up about Candy. I'm still a bit in shock that he would do this to the kids, much less us, but we aren't super close. I'm honestly starting to be happy about it. It's a lot of people stuffed in a tiny house and I might get to avoid that? Yay! Sadly, at the same time, I'm pretty heartbroken since I enjoy his family and they were my second family really. One thing to note is that we can't naturally have children, so that is a bit of a sour point. I quit taking birth control at 22 and we kept on with condoms for a while, and then kinda slowed down using them, half-hearted trying, and then a year full-on trying. No baby. Swing by the doctor and, oh look, you have huge cysts on your ovaries and a laundry list of other problems down there. No babies, and even if you do fertilize one, it'd most likely die. Great, awesome, just what I wanted. I'm still a bit sour about it. I would have enjoyed children of my own, but I love being an aunt. We have moved on and we are slightly glad we can't have children. We figure if we ever really get the drive to have children, we will adopt. Okay, well, pretty sensible advice from the community, and OP gave us a lot more context in her responses. So now let's move on with the first update. So, I'm not 100% sure where I should start. I am about 3 drinks in, just to calm myself. We went over the texts from his brother, sister-in-law, mother, father, aunt, and cousin. So just to recap the names. Brother Timmy, sister-in-law Candy, mother Rhonda, father Keith, aunt Kira, cousin Ben, husband Todd. This is shorter than husband. I'm lazy. So the day after I posted, we went over the texts, which started after we missed their call and went up until we sent the email. All just spiteful crap about how we waste our money, time, and life volunteering and don't spend enough time with their children, cousins' children, family anymore. It started out telling Todd that he was being a candy-ass bitch who is whipped by his cold, harpy, child-hating wife, and just degraded from there. Todd only sent back a few saying he'd emailed him about it and asking him to not talk about me. So we sent the email. Here is basically what we sent. I semi-edited it. Todd sent it as if it was just from him. We almost added in his parents, but decided we'd just forward it to them if it really got out of hand. But Timmy did it for him. Tim, I'm sending you an email so we can talk about what happened on Thanksgiving. I think this is better for us both, since when we are heated, we say things rashly. You didn't give me much time to really think about it, so here it goes. I don't understand why you volunteered us to buy gifts. We are happy to buy gifts for your children as we have every year. Is there something going on? Is someone having financial problems? While we would gladly help anyone who asked, as we have before, you should recall Kathy and Kiki 2 years ago, you helped too. Being set up in front of young children was rude, not to mention you telling us we aren't allowed at Christmas now. The texts and angry voicemails were also uncalled for. Please take some time to get back to me. I hope we can work this out as our family is very important to us. Todd. Yes, well, that went over about as well as water on grease fire. For one, Timmy forwarded the email to Rhonda and Keith, Kira and Ben. That was rude, but we were going to do the same thing either way. Ben sent us an email letting us know what Timmy did and said he was sorry he wasn't there to jump in, but would try to talk to Timmy. Timmy and Ben are actually really close, so it was nice to see he thought Timmy was being unreasonable as well, since they are normally very close and like-minded. I'm not going to put his email here, I'm just going to highlight what he said and then tell you what Keith and Rhonda said in their email and visit. I'm a cold, child-hating harpy and I sleep around. I'm an atheist or a Muslim or something, he never really picked. I am dragging Todd away from the church and his family. We don't spend any time at all with the family anymore. We never spend any time with our nieces and nephews. We are wasting our life, time and money volunteering with animals. Helping or wanting to help refugees is un-American, and this is my fault since I am a first-generation American and don't understand what it means to be one or deserve to live here. I am rude and never talk to them unless it's about animal rescue or animal rights. Yeah, so, at this point we're kinda laughing and kinda crying and kinda shocked. We spent the rest of the day cleaning up our house and talking about what we wanted to do or reply back. We hadn't checked our email and we'd stuck our phones on vibrate and were just trying to enjoy our day off together. They're pretty rare, sadly. And surprise, his parents drove all the way out to talk to us. I say talk, but it was more like being talked at. They asked me to leave so they could talk to Todd about his actions and rude email. Todd said no, said I was his family and his wife and we were handling this together. They then tried to convince us we had said F in front of the family. We didn't. That we had mentioned buying gifts for everyone. That we didn't love Jesus anymore since we hadn't been going to church. And some of what Timmy has sent in the email too. When his father started to insult me and then in turn my father, Todd was done. He stood up and said, "Thank you for coming to visit us in our home for the first time, but we have errands to run and you need to leave now." They refused. He told them they had to go now or he'd have to call the police. They left. He cried, I cried, our cats knocked over their cups. We ended up calling my dad and telling him everything as well as showing him both emails. He told us they have before talked crap about me and us to him. "You should be able to fix your child. We're working on ours," was something he told us had been said. We decided we aren't going to their Christmas either way. I told Todd I can't go back there again, nor can I look at any of them the same way again. I knew they didn't like me as much as some of the other daughters-in-law, but I didn't know it was to that extent. They have always been nice and polite to my face, invited and included me in all events. No one had ever said anything to Todd either. As it stands, I'm waiting for my dad and brother to get into town, and then we're going to sit down and decide what we would like to do. Todd said he just wants it to be small and doesn't mind where Christmas happens, and said he felt closer to my dad and brother anyway. We told Ben what happened and shipped his gifts to him. I haven't decided yet what I will do with the nieces and nephews' gifts, but I already donated all of the adult gifts. Also, I'd like to add that this isn't an ethnic or racial hating situation. My father is German and moved to the US when he was 20 to marry my mother, so I'm a pasty white chick, but I guess since my dad isn't American, that's bad. Well, Todd's family absolutely sucks. Anyways, let's move on with the final update to see what happened then. I wish this update was, "We made it all up and Christmas will be so great," but it's not. Yesterday we had a small Christmas party with some friends since we will be leaving on the 24th for a holiday. Myself, Todd, Dad, and brother, who I will name Theo. My friend Sandy grew up near me. We've been friends for years, and she became friends with Timmy and his wife too. They are Facebook friends. We had told her that there was a rift, but didn't elaborate to not damage their friendship. Big mistake, since she tagged us in her "Woo, look at the gift my friend is leaving me for Christmas" post. The photo is of the two of us drinking while dancing around her new Roomba. I will note, this isn't just for her Christmas, it's for her Christmas, birthday, and her wedding, as well as a housewarming gift. She and her soon-to-be husband Bill just bought a new townhouse near us. I normally wouldn't buy something that expensive just for Christmas. So, Timmy saw the post, and not only did he take offense to us drinking, none of them drink or are against drinking, he really flipped his lid about her getting a Roomba. He lost his crap in the comments and then showed up at our apartment. I was in the shower when Timmy showed up. I heard someone knocking on the door, which had to be pretty loud to hear it all the way in the shower. I finished my shower around midway through Todd and Tim fighting. Todd said he was beating the door down. He opened the door and refused to let Tim in any further than the hallway. Tim was yelling at him about the gift, about his lack of church going, about us going out of town, demanding his kids gifts. I donated them. And asking where we got off buying such a pricey gift for someone who isn't related and being selfish a-holes about gifting the other children. So around this point, I come out of the shower after putting on my PJs. It's nearly 1 AM now. I came out to see Tim. I'm kinda shocked. Todd tells Tim it's late and we can talk about this with their pastor when we get back from holiday. He pushes Todd. Todd falls back into the wall, putting a dent in it. This woke up my dad and Theo. I moved in front of Todd since Tim was pulling back to hit him. He hit me, knocking me down on top of Todd. Dad and Theo restrained him. Our next door neighbor was woken up and called 911. Cops showed up, separated all of us. We told them what happened, didn't tell them about the other problems, shortened it up to say there had been a Christmas disagreement. They also called an ambulance since Todd cut his arm on a dish that broke and my face was quickly turning purple. The EMT who showed up knew Todd and was very upset about him and me being hurt. The cops asked us if we wanted to press charges. I started to say no, Todd said yes. So, Tim was arrested. We went to the ER since Todd needed some stitches. Our phones have been blowing up ever since. I turned mine off after I told Sandy she needed to not let Tim and Candy see any posts about us since they are pissed at us. She said okay. I went through and unfriended and grouped anyone who was also friends with any in-law family into a restricted group so they can't see anything we're up to again. I hope. Rhonda and Keith have been blowing up Todd's phone. He's only answered them in texts with what happened, that we would not drop charges or pay his bail, and to stop contacting us at all. Between the last update and this one, we had talked to some of the other family members and they all said they disagreed with Timmy. His grandparents said they did too, but that they couldn't host Christmas and couldn't stop him from uninviting us. They said they would talk to him and we were like, okay, cool, maybe by next year we can be friends again. That isn't the case anymore, at all. There is no coming back from this. We'll be filing a restraining order when we get home. Todd is talking about us moving out of our home state. Dad and Theo think this is a good idea. Dad is annoyed that I wouldn't let him hit Tim, so he's sulking a bit. So yeah, I get to enjoy my trip with a black eye and cheek. Todd has a 4-inch gash on his arm. Dad is sulking and Theo is happy since he's smoking some pot. So A+ Christmas. Oh wow, OP, this turned into a roller coaster. That Tim idiot sounds like someone who as a child enjoyed smoking gas out of a diesel engine tailpipe just to kill some time. Good on Todd for pressing charges and now the restraining order. So hopefully that'll be the end of that and you guys don't need to deal with these idiots anymore. And on that note, thanks for sharing OP and all the best in the future. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, Go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.